Christianity didn't begin as an extremely divisive issue in the Revolution, but it didn't take long for a rupture between the church and state to emerge. For the revolutionaries, the Catholic Church and the aristocracy were part of a coalition that stood in opposition to the principles of the new government.
The Catholic Church tended to undermine, preach against the revolutionary agenda. And later on, when counter-revolution took place, that is, active fighting against the revolutionary government, it erupted in a region around Brittany known as the Vendée. And this was very much a Catholic-driven counter-revolution. And so increasingly, the Catholic establishment emerged as an enemy to the revolution. Well, the revolutionary government dealt with this by passing a piece of legislation known as the Civil Constitution of the Church. And in doing that, they were trying to solve the debt crisis that had brought this revolution to a head in the first place. The decision was quite simply to confiscate all the property of the Catholic Church in France. By passing this legislation, all churches, all golden candlesticks, all land now reverted to the state. The revolutionary government, now that it had the religious institutions and religious property under its own control, began to convert these magnificent buildings in many cases. For instance, Saint Denis Cathedral was the traditional burial place of the French monarchs. And it was horribly roughed about. And in fact, dirt was dumped in it. And in fact, the bodies were exhumed. Notre Dame Cathedral was made into a temple of reason. And it was even proposed to tear down parts of Chartres Cathedral, also to convert it. Mercifully, that didn't happen. Much of this was associated with an anti-clerical feeling, and it's tied to anti-monarchical feeling. But also, in the later days of Robespierre's influence, he and some of his inner circle were able to push through remarkable legislation. They were able to outlaw Christianity.
The de-Christianization of France was both rapid and wide-reaching. In churches around the country, statues of the Virgin Mary were replaced by statues dedicated to liberty. The old calendar, based on the birth of Jesus Christ, was replaced by a new Republican calendar that reflected the secular foundations of the new government. The 7-day week, which was rooted in the book of Genesis in the Old Testament, was replaced by 10-day units called Decade. Christian holidays like Easter and Christmas were replaced by public festival days dedicated to revolutionary ideals like virtue, genius, and work. Despite the radical abolishment of the Catholic Church, Robespierre understood the importance of religion in maintaining social order. In place of Christianity, he and his deputies instituted a new religion in France that was based on the beliefs of Enlightenment philosophers like Rousseau and Voltaire. This new religion was known as the cult of the Supreme Being.
So this is very much bound up with what we would call deist beliefs. The idea that God is a great clockmaker, that he created the laws that run the universe. He created the universe itself, then wound it up, let it operate, and stepped away. So there is some kind of cosmic force in the universe. There is a God. But this God doesn't operate in the ways that the Catholic Church traditionally said that God operated.
In July 1794, the first festival of the Supreme Being was held in Paris. The city was decorated in garlands and wreaths of flowers for the occasion. Citizens, dressed in white gowns and carrying oak branches, converged on the Tuileries Gardens to hear Robespierre deliver a sermon and to sing hymns to the Father of the universe. Afterwards, the procession continued to the Champ de Mars, where a symbolic mountain had been constructed, surrounded by tombs, pyramids, and Greek temples. The festival marked the beginning of the end of Robespierre's power.